So we did center the shield. Whose is this? This is beautiful.
Tim's.
Tim, can I use this for you?
Yeah.
I won't mess it up. I won't mess it up. Against what kind of shield? Pick one.
Any shield. I mean, if we're looking
Okay, let's do it against
a strap shield.
Okay, so let's do it against Heber here. So, he's got it strapped here, I've got my shield. Now obviously I'm not going to do this, because I'm opening a door up that's just going to execute. But shield manipulations, there's a lot of different ones. And we can use a lot of them to our advantage without giving up much. So if I'm here and I know that I want that line there, I want that line there, I want that line there, if I'm where I'm throwing against the shield. For my shield as a manipulation though, if I'm always facing the weapon, that means my fist is always facing here. My fist is always there. So for instance, if he throws a wrap or something to the outside, I kick out and move myself just a little bit. If I want to manipulate the shield to throw that same Frankenstein, I'm going to turn as he returns. Hi. And I'm still facing the weapon. Right? I'm not tilting it all the way, I'm just holding it for a half second. I don't need to stop it, I just need to slow it for that half second. I need to extend the time just a little bit. A lot of times you see people do a blind with one of these shields. They get in there and do this, and then throw that blind up. It's very effective. The problem with blind is you're blind too for a second. But it can be done. Other shield manipulations is using the bottom of the shield. If they throw a wrap here, it doesn't matter. Throw a wrap here and you throw for the bottom of the shield to tilt the shield out as they return, they're going to freak, right? So as they freak and you go for the head, you're anticipating what you've done. You're anticipating what effect you caused. You have to extend that time out just a little bit and think about what you're doing. He threw out here. I blocked. If I tilt that shield a bit and look at the head, bye. So that anticipation of what you're doing, why you're doing it. Reactionary fighting is fine, but there's always somebody that has a better reaction. There's always somebody faster. There's always somebody stronger. Right? And there's always a way out, yes.
So what you're describing is what my main frustration is. There's a lot of round shielders out here. There are a lot of advantages to a round shield against either. What are its weaknesses? How do I manipulate that?
Want to switch? So, one of the weaknesses to a round shield is distance. What are the shields intended for? These shields were only done in Hungonga on personal duels by themselves. The rest of the time they were using the shield. The shield was built like this because it's got difficult. Right? It's not so good out here. The farther out here, he has to turn and hit me. Right? He's got to move his body to hit me. If he just reaches out like that, I can see him. And he's got to open up here to hit me. He's got to move that shield around here. Fighting him here is his bread and butter, because now he's got all his shield. He doesn't have to move his arm very much at all. And I have to block for my life way up here all the time. But out here, a little different story. Now, we can look. Because the shield is heavier and it's bigger, it's going to react longer. It's going to take longer to react. Again, time. Right? So instead of going, he didn't move the damn thing at all. Instead of that, we extend the time just a bit. Move time. We let them move it. We throw at them someplace where they have to move the shield. Step around and throw someplace, and the more he has to move this, the longer it's going to take to get back. Instantly going in through this thing with an axe in your hand would be difficult. So they fuck with axes because they go over the edge and hit them in your hand. But with a broadsword, it's a bitch. It's really hard. And somebody who's good and strong enough to hold this thing up for a while can do so. But to fight them here where they're strongest and they have the best leverage is helping them a lot. Right? All kinds of things you can do while you're in here to make them more uncomfortable, though. Once you get inside that hook and keep that shield in here, he's got to move out of their way to get the shield back. That's one of the detriments of the center. Same thing with the other direction. Same thing with the tilt to the bottom. Every time you mess with that shield, you get somebody, in the worst case scenario, you're on your knees, and you get that big hold knuckle dragger up top, right? What's that guy's name? Ethelred, yeah. Huge, dude. Bloody huge shield. Right, bloody huge shield, right? So you get up here and you close the door. Close the shield up. He's got this shield here. Start. Every time he gets close. Every time something happens. Every time something happens. Don't let him get there and get comfortable. Hammer that thing. It's a shield. We get to hit those. We don't hit each other with the shields. We don't touch each other with the shield. Rule is, you don't touch me with your shield, and have to kick you in the ding. Okay? Simple enough. Incidental contact or no. Hell of a front. You should be able to fight within the game. Thank you very much.
Do you want strength to something?
What?
Do you want strength to shield on a server?
No. Strength of center grip is leverage and keeping it straight here.
But I'm talking about when you're manipulating.
Oh, yeah.
So using, basically keeping it in line where
Yeah.
the thumb is.
Yeah,
To use
exactly.
That edge to top
Punch
edge.
it back.
Just like a spear.
Exactly like a spear. Right.
Brown.
So we color code everything. We color code the shields. We color code the swords. Welcome to the West. We color code the swords.
That killed me at crap.
We call it Rolfing the sword now.
Rolfing the sword.
Yeah. But we color code everything, especially for the students to learn. Say, no, don't parry on this. Parry. When you throw your foreguard, or what do you guys call it? Throw the foreguard, the punch. Shouldn't be here. 2 reasons. Number 1, you have block on the edge, sword, blade, crunch. Number 2, if it's already here, when you turn it over, it's not left. I don't have to. When you throw on your offside body, bang. If you're not physically rolling your fingers inside, you make that do this, you're hitting flat. You're hitting flat. It's almost physically impossible to be able to hear this and hit on it. Unless your hand is super high, you're a freak of nature, you can do that, you're not hitting it. Retape your sword, tape it perfectly. Go fight all day, look at it. Your sword won't lie. It'll tell you where you're hitting. You know, some people can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, but if you're going to manipulate a blade right, throw, roll, strike. You can do it fast, throw, roll, strike. But you've got to have that. You've got to see that cross roll. That's why we hold it. Morozo says we hold the weapon as if we hold a small bird. Tight enough to where it can't fly away, but not too strong to where it crushes and dies. Same thing. Squeeze, bang. Loose and bang. Squeeze, bang. And we act upon these weaknesses all the time. The bunny round, there's a couple people that still fight bunny rounds, right? My knight still fights with bunny round. This is a jousting shield. That's why they live on their legs. They live on their knees because this was never meant to block their legs. It's a jousting shield. It's the only extant example we have of this shape. It's a jousting shield. So blocking your legs sucks. 7? It sucks. You live your whole life on the ground, on your knees if you're fighting with this shield. Even Ragnar, who fought with it for years, lived on his knees. You didn't want him there, because then you could never get him out. But it's how he did Connor, my knight, the last thing you do is want to leg that guy. Because he can live there all day. Bryn, same thing. So when we look at our shield styles, we look at the strength and weakness of every single one of them, and we memorize and throw from the strength and weakness of everything. Of everything. Now, measure, when we first talked about that, that all plays into this. All right? You can pressure people with just your body, with your body language, with your body motion. Your sword is not going to fake them out. Your sword isn't going to fake them out. Your body and how you step into measure. That's the real head fake here, folks. The shield isn't your first defense. Measure is. But all the fancy stuff in the world is not going to fake them out. Right? How many fingers am I holding up?